Hey everyone, Timothy Sharlow here with Conversations, and today we are sitting down with Mr. J.P. McFadden, who is the Executive Director of Moncus Park. We have a fun-filled interview prepared for you today. Cheers. JP, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. So before we get stuck in, can you tell the people at home who you are and what do you do here?
Thanks, glad to be here today. My name's JP McFadden and I'm the Executive Director at Moncus Park. And what do I do here? A little bit of everything. You'll come to find out that's my background, a little bit of everything.
So I'm not super knowledgeable on Parks and Rec, but I don't imagine this place is just like a cookie cutter where you can plug and play the next thing you want. So yeah, it's kind of a getting where you fit in, right? If you need to pick up trash, pick up trash. If you need to set up an event, set up an event.
That's right.
Director of everything executive.
That's right.
I live 5 minutes away from here, and me and my family come to Moncus Park, and we have our reasons why we come so often outside of the beauty of this place. But under the guide of your directorship, what makes Moncus so special to Lafayette?
Well, there's a couple things. I mean, you really have to start with, it's 20 years ago when it was UL property, Save the Horse Farm, people are well aware of that. And just the community effort to save the space from development and turn it into something beautiful for the community. So that process over the course of 12 to 15 years really is really the genesis of what makes it so special.
Yeah.
And I think in the last, say, 4 to 5 years since we opened in 2002, we've been really intentional as a team, as the entire staff, both part-time and full-time, in terms of what it takes to make a park different.
Yeah.
So a big part of that, I mean, we talk a lot about placemaking. So there's a lot of, we can go into the sort of the layers of placemaking. Of course, the basis of that is a beautiful green native place, which, that's a great starting canvas.
Yeah.
And then you start to layer on other pieces and parts on top of that. For instance, we talk a lot about clean, safe, and welcoming.
Yeah.
It's really like
Which,
a baseline.
as a consumer, we always feel when we get here, I can allow my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old to play in the water. Obviously, I'm not leaving them unattended, but I don't feel threatened by anything outside of what's happening in front of me, right? It's a very safe and happy place for me to be. So if that has anything to do with the layering you're talking about.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
like
a really core part of the team that's on the ground, be they grounds or what we call park services, is hospitality.
Yeah.
So we really lean into, the guest experience and what it's like to be here as a guest.
Yeah.
Not to be overbearing. I mean, certainly we're not going to bring Ritz-Carlton level of hospitality, but from a park standpoint, we're really trying to be a step above. And the other, to get back to your original question, I mean, I can't not talk a little bit about being in a different organizational model than what people typically or traditionally think about in terms of parks and rec and parks.
Yeah.
About 99% of the parks in the U.S. are what you would typically imagine a park system or a park to be organized within, which is the city or a municipality, right? So we are a nonprofit park conservancy. So what that means, at least in our context as a public-private partnership, we have a 100-year lease with the city.
Wow.
And our core purpose is soup to nuts to plan, develop, design, construct, maintain, operate this space for the city, for the residents, and for the greater region as well.
Absolutely. In regards to the community involvement and how you guys are bridging the layering of community events, obviously with small kids, I love Movie in the Park. I think those are fantastic, and I'm quite looking forward to the summertime. What other events are coming up this summer that we can expect the community to be aware of and come and visit the park?
Right. So we talk about like big events and then weekly programming.
Okay.
So throughout the summer, we'll continue a lot of our free weekly programming. So we've got mom walks on Wednesday mornings. We've got Fit for All, which is our fitness series.
Nice.
Really highlighting yoga on Wednesday evenings. We've got a community night on Thursday. And that sort of runs the gamut, but you can imagine coming out and playing board games, things like that. And then of course, like the bigger events like you talked about, movies in the park. So our last one is this Saturday, and then we'll start that back up in the fall.
How does someone stay in touch with what's happening next? Because I think when we first learned about Movie in the Park, we saw somebody's Facebook post. Obviously, that's one of the most important ways that we stay in the know with anything going in Lafayette.
Right,
but
right.
at that point, it was too late. So how can someone stay up to date and even create an RSS feed to what's happening at Moncus?
So certainly the best launching place is to get to our website, moncuspark.org.
Okay.
And from there you can subscribe to newsletters. Of course, we're on just about every form of social, so that you can certainly subscribe and follow and see what's happening there. But if you get our newsletter, that's probably the best way, because once you're on the newsletter, we're highlighting events that are coming up a few weeks ahead of time.
It's easy to walk this property. In fact, walking up here this morning, I was told, hey, meet under the 2 oak trees with the picnic tables. And at that point, you look around and you see there are a lot of oak trees on this property and a lot of picnic tables. I guess, I don't know if difficult is the word I want to use, but how important has it been for the maintenance of conservation to keep these beautiful trees up and running, I guess under historical guides, because some of them fit the historical registry.
The heritage oaks, which we've got some up at the front of the park where we have the farmers market on Saturday morning, a few in the middle. These oaks right here are called the Blakewood oaks, which is a nod to Griff Blakewood, who was a professor at UL back in the Save the Horse Farm days.
Okay.
And then in the middle of the park, we've also got another stand of heritage oaks that we call Oak Alley. And yeah, they're all named oaks with the Louisiana Live Oak Society. And it does take a lot of maintenance with the ground team. Most importantly is just mulching, so that the little feeder roots have protection from all the walking that happens. And we recognize where we are right now in terms of trees and maturity of trees and shade. These are the best shade, which is why we have to be sitting on them right now.
If somebody in this community has a heart for the horticulture of preservation, can they get involved with Moncus Park as a volunteer?
As a nonprofit, of course, volunteerism is a huge component of a nonprofit. So we've got lots of ways to be involved, but specifically around the horticulture front, we've got an Adopt a Bed program. So reach out through the website and get in touch. We'll put you in touch with our conservation director. And what she does is like walk around the park. We've got a lot of landscape beds that are designated as adoptable. So it's a small space, you adopt it, you get some free parking, you get some benefits, a t-shirt, and you come out when it's not as scheduled, you gotta be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. But whether it's a company, an individual, a family, a couple, you come out and you take care of that little space, weed it, keep it looking good. You get a little sign that's got your name on it so people know that you're the one taking care of it. So it's we launched that this year and we've had amazing traction on that.
That's awesome.
And it's super helpful for the grounds team because it's one less thing that they gotta be on top of.
Awesome. So JP, we're out of time for part 1. There's some gold you mentioned that I want to get into in part 2. Can I sit down with you one more time?
Absolutely.
Maybe even a time after that?
For sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey everyone, Timothy Sharlow here with Conversations. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today with Mr. JP McFadden. It's been a fantastic time. To stay tuned with what we have going on here at Conversations, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to smash that like button, crush that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date. Cheers.